that time of season where you're looking for like the perfect gift. And so if you're like us and you like to give bourbon as good gifts, we got your perfect little list here.
Yeah, don't worry about those whiskey stones or anything else like that. Get the good stuff.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
I'm Zach.
And today we are going to talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough is your bourbon gift giving guide.
Yeah, so I kind of debated about doing this and how to do it. I've went like all over the place. I was like, should I do 3 separate videos of this? Should I do like where we talk about glassware too or whatever? And I was like, keep it simple. Do one video. We just talk about whiskey.
Yeah, and I think like looking at this list, like it's people you like, people you love, and people you really love.
All right, so let me explain how the list is going to go.
Today's episode is brought to you by ZBiotics.
All right, so Dave, this has been like a total game changer for us. And, with how much we actually have to work and do like Advent and everything else, it creates a lot of days where we thankfully get to drink some really good stuff. And now because of ZBiotics, we have a much easier time to recover.
That's so true. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle the rough mornings after drinking. And here's the cool thing. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into this toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's the blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break that byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it the most. So remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol, and helps out for the next day.
So we just got done with Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We've already done. We just got done wrapping up all of our Friendsgivings after Thanksgiving, and I became the whiskey guy for our Friendsgiving. And so they're like, "Hey, make sure you bring all the good stuff.
Make sure you bring all the rare,
the rare and expensive stuff. I don't want to drink nothing cheap since you're bringing it." So of course I'm like, "Well, what are you all bringing?" Of course, everybody brings all this new like dark beer, and I'm like, "I don't like drinking it, but I try to be nice, right?"
Yeah.
I try to be the nice guy, and I try to share everything, whatever. Well, thankfully, at the end of it, especially with somebody who does not like to drink a lot of heavy dark beer, we get some ZBiotics. I take one of these right before we go. Drink myself a glass of water, and look, after a great night of sleep, after doing a Friendsgiving, I feel amazing.
So it's the holiday season, and what better way to get in your good graces of your friends and family than giving them the gift of ZBiotics?
I mean, honestly, this couldn't be more perfect.
I know.
I think I'm going to do this with the boys.
That makes total sense.
1,000%.
So go to zbiotics.com/Bourbon Kingdom or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use the code Bourbon Kingdom at checkout.
You can also sign up for a subscription using our code so you can stay prepared no matter the time or the occasion. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Bourbon Kingdom and use our promo code to get 15% off at checkout. Thank you, zbiotics.com, for sponsoring this episode. And as always, you're the best.
You are.
So we basically have kind of like everyday shelfers that we're going to have findable, reasonable prices. The next one's going to be findable, but they're going to be a little bit more costly.
Yep.
Now, are these findable ones that are going to be more costly in every market? No, I don't obviously know your all's market. By the way, this goes for everybody. I don't know your all's market, so I apologize ahead of time if you can't find it. Can't find it, try to look for something that's similar to that.
Yeah, equivalent.
And go from there. And then the last one is going to be the allocated section. It's going to be hard to find. This is obviously hard to find for a reason. It's really, really good. Typically, there's less of it, but those gifts will be even more special at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. I think you hit it right on the head. So let's just go ahead and start out with what we would go, the findable, reasonable price range.
And whenever we're saying like reasonable price, obviously, prices,
Whatever's
you
reasonable.
know,
Yeah.
what
whatever's
I'm willing to spend on whiskey is different from what he's willing to spend on whiskey compared to like Jeff Bezos. You know, everything's different.
It is. Yeah. So I think first on this list is I think in any reasonable market, if you find a decent store pick.
Yeah. So I think store picks overall have kind of taken a hit over the last couple of years with COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think there's still really good stores who do really good picks.
There are.
And I think a store pick at the end of the day is still more personable.
Yes.
And I think especially if you get the right one, you know, make sure you trust your store. And if you don't really trust your store, try to look for like a major brand, like a Wild Turkey pick.
Yeah.
You know, something along those lines, some kind of Heaven Hill pick, you know, a big boy distillery, because they tend to be a little bit more stable and reliable.
Yeah. Very consistent. Yeah. I agree with that. Number two, did we just do number two, or did you just threw that one out, didn't you?
Which one?
The rare breed.
Yeah, no, that's number 2 on the list.
Okay. Well, you said rare breed a second ago. Oh yeah, it's right here. Listen, man, I'm just here. I'm not just here. Yeah. So number 2 on this list is a rare breed. For my money, this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a great gift, especially for anybody, like some of your friends that you like who are like just getting into bourbon, or just don't like the thought of you spending a lot of money on them. This is a $45, $50 bottle, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a great gift because the liquid inside is awesome.
Yep.
And you can drink it any way you want. Neat. Rocks. Put it in a mixer. I wouldn't personally do that because I think it's elevated above that, but can be done. So I think it's really good.
There's also something about drinking Wild Turkey on the holidays.
Yeah.
Like a good substitute for this would be 1920, but to me, I was drinking on Wild Turkey Rare Breed the other night. I was like, there's just something about the holiday season.
Yeah, this is, to me, like, I love 1920, but like, yeah, that.
It's just something about it.
Yeah.
So, but it's literally one of the best bottles of bourbon on the market.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Can't really go wrong with it.
And then the third one on this list is a Maker's Mark, like one of their little limited editions. This is the BEP.
Mm-hmm.
They're just great drinkers at a decent price. You're going to spend $70.
I think. Don't hold me to this. I think it's like $64.99.
$64.99 for this, and this is still sitting around. And this is probably their best kind of, besides the Cellar's
outside of Cellar's Age,
which is an animal all of its own.
Yeah,
this is like the thing to have for Maker's Mark this year.
Yeah, 1,000%. I totally agree.
And this is a great gift because whoever gets this as a gift from you is gonna be like, I didn't know Makers could taste this good.
Exactly. On top of, there's certain things that I think in bourbon are very iconic. And the red wax is one of them. So as a gift, people are going to look at that and be like, oh, Makers. You know, we
cool
get
stuff.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. You.
So the next one's going to be findable, but these are going to be a little bit more costly. So, you know, as Dave was joking around, he's like, I like you. I really like you. I love you. Like on these sections. I think these are all, again, still really great stuff. It is going to be a little bit more costly. And depending on your market, a little bit harder to find, but I think findable. At least you should be able to find one of these 3.
Totally agree with you. And the first one, and you all know our love for these store picks. Not all of the store picks are great.
Or just the batches, too.
Or the batches, but I mean, the store picks in these Elijah Craig barrel proofs have been just sneaky good.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 5 or 6 bottles that I've tried at bars and haven't even opened yet that they're still sitting at my house because they're just really, really good. And alongside just the ABC batches are really good. And at probably $79 to $80, $85 in some places.
In some places, cheaper than that.
Yeah, so it can be cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You're getting a high quality Heaven Hill product that day in and day out just drinks so good. Most every time.
I agree, and I don't really have anything else to add to that. That was kind of perfect.
Yeah. Next one.
I thought you were just going to knock that bottle off the table.
It was just a small batch, even if it knocked off.
Okay, fair enough. It's just a full bottle of whiskey. Who cares?
It would have fallen into a chair, so it would have been all right.
And
Anyway.
rolled onto a concrete floor.
Yes, all that good stuff. Anyway.
Knob Creek 18
yeah,
year.
Knob Creek 18. For my money, the Knob Creek 18 year just head and tail above any other bean product, generally speaking.
Yeah, it's legitimately pretty high up there.
There's some other stuff, but generally speaking,
my only complaint would be that the batch 2 doesn't come with the fancy box like what the batch 1 had.
Yeah,
but I think it's still really good, and these are literally everywhere.
Yeah,
I knew they made a lot of them,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize they made that many of them. Yes, it's a little costly, but here's what I would tell people: don't buy the 15 year, buy the 18 year.
Yeah, for sure. Buy the 18 year for sure.
15 year, not so much. If you want to get the 12, you can get the 12 year. 12 year is good.
12's good.
12 good. 15 bad. 18 best,
Yes.
in my opinion.
And nothing really else to say.
Yeah.
So good. And then, no surprise, most lists of ours wouldn't be complete without a shout out to Bargetown Disco 11.
I mean, it's a monster.
It is a monster.
It's really, really good.
And again, you're getting yourself into what I would call a bougie bourbon, an upscale bourbon.
It's a premium.
It's a premium bourbon brand. And so to me, it's on the cheaper end of premium bourbon brands.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's nonetheless, it's still a premium bourbon brand. And if you're willing to spend $140 on someone, $129, 100
something like
somewhere between $125 and $150, depending on where you're at, and if you can get it. If you're willing to spend that on somebody that you like a lot and they're a good friend or whatever, I just don't see where they would be disappointed in having this on their bourbon shelf, and it just tastes delicious. And if you've seen any reviews out there at all, you know that this one is a hitter.
It is so high up. It's been as expensive of a year as Wild Turkey it's been, and as much as Wild Turkey is in this is one of the best things Wild Turkey we've had all year.
Yeah.
We haven't done the blind yet, so we'll confirm that. But I'm telling you guys, this is a special bottle, and this would be a really good gift for people, because down the road, people will be talking about this release as in like, man, that was like a really, really special release.
Totally agree with you.
All right, so the next little group that we'll do, we've done 3 in each. We saved 4 for this one. Technically, there's 5 bottles in this one, but basically the 4 little groups here. This is the allocated. Nothing like. There's one of them that's kind of hard to find because you basically have to be in like the Louisville area or be willing to drive to the Louisville area to get it. But outside of that, these are. If you have a relationship with a store and you're like, hey man, I really need this for my boss or for my wife or for my husband, whatever it is, hopefully you should be able to work to get one of these.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, for sure. So the first 2 are, and again, these aren't that they're that expensive. They're just hard to find.
Even though E.H. Taylor Small Batch, you did find it whenever you go on like one of your 49 vacations.
Yeah, I did. And so like either one of these, the small batch or the single barrel, you just can't go wrong with them. And if you can find them, if you can ask a favor from your local liquor store and they have them, it's worth having, because the truth is there's very few bottles that people love to have on their shelves more than an E.H. Taylor tube. Mm-hmm. That's true. It's just a fact. Like if you see an E.H. Taylor tube on somebody's bar, you know, they at least have they know a bit about what they're drinking and stuff.
Well, there's also just that it's most allocation from Buffalo Trace, regardless if you're new to drinking, experienced, or like old, OG when it comes to stuff. Most of us enjoy it. Most of us don't run away from it in that sense. So whenever you see one of these going out as a gift, it's normally never going to be frowned upon by anybody.
Yeah, and I'm not just going to give them to somebody that I don't really, really like.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though these aren't the most coveted things in the Buffalo Trace lineup. These are hard to find, and so you willing to find it and then give it away to somebody because you like them.
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
True.
Our next one.
So the next one, I just want to put a caveat. Yes, this is technically hard to find. Yes, you can find some places online to order it. You got to look for those. I don't know where all these are. But if you go to Neat in Louisville,
he has them just
by the crate
coming out of his ears.
So
this is Wild Turkey 101 12 year.
Yeah.
Such a good bottle.
Gosh, run a low on this one.
Here in Louisville, if you're coming to Louisville and taking a trip, look up Neat. It's a bar. You look it up. You go. And you spend $149 because you'll be happy that you did.
Yeah.
And then again, the box and stuff on this, if you're really looking like for a special, I think a special
it
bottle for somebody,
doesn't get better than this box.
This is just a really cool gift. You can wrap this thing and somebody would not know what they were getting in this, and they get that, and it's just not available. So finding it and giving it as a gift to someone. This doesn't get much better than that.
No, 1,000%. The packaging on it's beautiful. The bottle itself is amazing. Like on this list, it's arguably the best bottle on this list. And it's not, again, this is supposed to be an international release. And, the guys down there at Neat, they're able to make this work, which is awesome.
I think they do something with the freight.
Just turn it around, boys. Just bring it back to Louisville.
We'll pick it up out of the middle of the Ohio River.
Yeah, no kidding. But this is a very unique treat.
Yes.
To at least our area and to pretty much everybody everywhere. But
totally agree with that. Next on the list is the Russell Reserve 13.
I tried to not add as much Wild Turkey to it, but it just felt right.
Yeah. This is like, for Wild Turkey this year, this is the most affordable allocated, and if you could find it's a wonderful gift because they are still living off of last year's release,
2 years
ago release.
Yeah.
Knowing how good it was, and so there's still demand for it.
But I think batch 4 is really good.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think it's much better than 2 and 3.
Yes, I agree with that. But I'm just saying,
it's not one. It's a step down from 1, but I think it's better than 2 and 3.
And again, this is price wise probably the most expensive thing on the list.
Yes, it is.
Just above the Wild Turkey 12 year.
Yeah.
This is more like 160, 165.
No, this is like 200.
Right at 200.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's at 200 now. So again, if you know this channel, we like Russell's Russell's 13. And just a solid thing and a good gift to give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you can find it.
Yeah. But I think there's still some stores, like I know a couple stores here locally that are holding on to these because of end of the year allocation stuff.
Yeah.
So I think
if you'll be able to get it.
I think there's a shot at you being able.
You might have a choice to make. You could have a birthday, an LE, and a Russell's 13 sitting there, and you're going to have to make the decision, like, where does my money go?
Which LE?
The Four Roses LE.
Yeah, you pick the Four Roses.
Yeah, yeah, you do. But I'm just saying, like, some people would have the choice to make. This sneaky little devil is the Woodford Double Oak. Again, this is probably the best thing that Woodford puts out.
It's up there. The last couple of releases we haven't loved.
Right.
This is the 2021. This was a gift from my buddy Justin. This is actually this is the last one I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think these are criminally forgotten about with people when it comes to like what people want allocation wise.
Yeah.
Because I think people love these bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And even though these are a little difficult to find in the sense of like they're not everywhere, they're kind of like seasonal whenever they come out. On the secondary, they go for like $100.
Yeah.
So 100, 110, 120 bucks, whatever it is.
If you're willing to spend that for somebody, and I know you're saying like it's a $375, why would I spend that? You just do because it's
Why
good.
are we spending any money on whiskey for Christmas?
Yeah. It's just what you do.
So-
That's what you do. So this is a really good one. So that was some of our kind of gift giving advice, I guess.
Yeah. These are some bottles that we like, that we think, it's not necessarily about impressing people in a sense, but like giving them something that we think that they would enjoy and be appreciative of.
Yep.
So
tell us what you what kind of gifts you might be giving out this year. Hit the like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And until the next time,
we'll see you.
We'll see you.